Right, today we're looking at this Concept 2 PM5, which is used on the Concept 2 rowing machines. Now, I have one of these rowing machines, but it came with a PM3, which is a slightly lesser unit. It doesn't have a backlight, it doesn't have Bluetooth or any of that stuff. What is the problem with this? Well, what I understand is that this is completely dead. It doesn't work at all. Looking at the springs there is a little bit of corrosion on there, which we'll get off, and that one looks okay. Let's put these in here. We'll just test these batteries. So 1.4 and 1.38. So it's a little bit on the low side, but it should be okay. These I just took out of the PM3 because I don't have any more of these. Not many devices these days use D cells. There we go. We should get something on the screen straight away. Whoever had this before didn't really keep it clean, so goodness knows where it's been, which is why I'm wearing the gloves. Nothing there. We'll just give it a bit of a squeeze, but no, nothing. Okay. All right, let's get into it. I wonder if we could power it with the bench power supply to 3 volts, just in case that's a bit low. That's negative. Positive. So if we put that there and that there. Yeah, still nothing. Okay. Right, so as we take this apart, I did want to mention that my goal for this year is to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please do so. Okay, let's just take this apart gently. Now, straight away you can see that the menu button is the one that's used the most. So that needs a good clean. We've got the screen that needs a good clean. Let's take this out. So let's have a look. So I think what we can do is get one of our foam cubes. We shall put some IPA on here. And we'll just zoom out a bit. Yeah, that looks better. Good housekeeping anyway. We want this to work for a long time to come. And as you can see, it's quite a lot of muck coming off. So looking at the back of this, that's a little bit rusty there. I don't think I've actually ever seen, like, is that a capacitor? Looks odd. It's got a K there. I'm not sure what K is for. So that's an LED. That looks okay. And it uses an arm too. That's interesting. Yeah, you can see, look here, there's what looks like little bits of rust. That's not going to be terminal. Nothing really obvious there. Now looking on the back here is slightly more telling. Let's see if these will remove. I think this just needs a good clean. The rest of that looks okay. We'll probably have to clean in here as well. So yeah, I'll probably put that in and get it properly clean, not just with IPA. Screen is there. There's all the details. I very much doubt there's going to be much underneath there. I do not want to blow this up. So we are getting nothing. Have a look. No, we're not getting anything there. What's going on there then? Yeah, that's interesting. So let's take that off. I wonder if I can just put the screen out so that we can at least see if something comes on. And then if we just... Oh, there we go. So it is working. So what was happening before then with the batteries? Is it just a corrosion issue? Of course, you can't see what I'm doing there, can you? So I'm just gonna put these on here. Nothing. Oh, and we've got language. I think it could be some of this corrosion on here. Of course, we should have applied the power before we started cleaning it up. I doubt very much whether that little cleaning that we've done has really made a great deal of difference to whether it worked or not. But again, it's another straightforward fix. There's definitely some corrosion there that we need to take off. I don't think it's going to come off with these. There. Okay, so I have seen multiple people say that you shouldn't just take one of these grinding tools and grind that off, because then it'll just rust again. Maybe the best thing to do is just to cut it about there, stretch it out a bit, because it only has to make contact, doesn't it? So let's try that. I don't have a spare of that size, unfortunately. There we are. Right, there we go. So giving them a bit of a clean. They're a little bit marked, but it's fine. Hopefully these will now work properly, and we'll find that out when we put it all back together. There we go. So same issues with these buttons because of the carbon on them. Yeah, look, that button's not working. At least it's running. That's much better. Oh. So there we go, we're all back up and running. So not really a complicated fix at all, unfortunately. As you can see from the start of it, just a little bit of corrosion on the battery terminal causing it not to work. Today we're looking at a couple of these personal organisers. Now these are quite old. Don't really know the date on these things. They were given to me by my father. Don't know the status of any of these. If I know anything about my dad was that he never used to remove batteries from any devices whatsoever. So there's a good chance that if they use any kind of AAA batteries or whatever, that they're still going to be in there. Looking at them, they're not big enough to hold those kind of batteries. So I especially think these ones will probably be watch batteries. So we might be in luck there. Let's get the battery compartment open first, and we'll see what we're dealing with. Right, okay, so as suspected, you can see that. there is some corrosion there, which is pretty unusual because I didn't think that those style of batteries leaked, but obviously they do. So it's a personal organizer, pocket data bank, completely useless in this day and age, but it might be an interesting fix. So that's that one. Let's see this one. Watch batteries in here as well. 2.5, 2.2, and 2.3. So they're all flat. So I need to get 3 of these. Well, might be lucky with this one, and it's just some new batteries. Looking at the screen, that doesn't look too good at all. Right, okay, so I've got 3 batteries here. 2.9, 2.9, 3.2. So not much happening there. Could be the screen. Let's get into it. We can see if there's voltages going about. So there's the speaker. Battery connections, contrast. So if we look at the screen connector, what has happened there? Look here especially. I'm going to take some time just to give it a bit of a clean. Yeah, that's much better. If we put a positive charge there and the negative there and just put 9 volts in, there we go. The screen is working. The first thing I'd say is there was no sound, but maybe that's okay so far. Let's put this back on. Let's put these batteries back in. Okay, something strange there because I'm giving it 8.9 volts with the bench power supply and it's working, but now with the batteries it doesn't. So we push that down. So putting it there, if you can see that's on there, but here, like, yeah, that's it there. So it'll probably be somewhere like that. I think we'll reflow that. Probably reflow all of them, to be honest. That's the only thing that's holding them on. Yeah, that one seems better. Okay. So maybe that one there was just a little bit, wasn't quite making a good contact or whatever. Let's push these down. That's interesting. When I put this connectors onto here with it closed, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but it doesn't work. If I take this off and put these direct on, it does work. Stick that out. See, in case that's making yeah, that's interesting. With that, with this little bit in, seems not to work. Let's put the batteries in now. Yeah, there we go. So I've done a little bit of research into this. There's nothing in the manual. So the only thing I can think of is that it's something to do with the memory. Because the unit hasn't been used for so long, it was causing an issue. And by moving it to the other position, somehow undid what was stopping it from running. 3 new batteries. There we go. You can see that there is a little bit of discoloration on the screen here. Not a great deal we can do about that, nor do I wish to. Not a particularly difficult fix, really. It is going, it is working, it's complaining about data, but I think it possibly needs a reset. There's a reset button here. Let's push that. Yes. Now, I think this one will be equally as simple. Clean up the battery connectors. Doesn't actually say who it's made by, it's just an unbranded one. We'll get some batteries, but I think we'll just clear this up first. And there it is. So infamous blob chip, and then just the contacts. So as you can see, positive here, and that's the negative there. Right, so that looks like it's screwed in there. I wonder if we've just got some battery terminals we could replace this with. That's looking pretty clean now, so that's good. So I think we'll see if we can replace this. That one actually cleaned up pretty well. Can we put this one back on? It's pretty contaminated. We just need something to go from here into the base of this. This one is pretty much done. Before we do any more, possibly get the bench power supply on here. So this is going to be 3 volts. Let's put this to 2.9. So this is going to be the negative. Put it there. And then, and it does work. It's worth trying to repair this then. What I'm going to do is this one and this one are no use. So I'm going to take that off. I'm just going to desolder that there. Take that off. There's no real way to fix that. So I think that just has to go by the wayside. So what does that leave us with? Well, clean that up a bit and then cut that off. So that's that. We need a little piece of metal that would just go through there. I wonder if we can cut this. So I've cut this little bit off of here. Well, that's come out all right, actually, I think. If we take the battery out, so that battery fits fine. And 3 volts. Great. Right, and that's all these 3 now fixed. Nothing too complicated, pretty simple fixes for all of them, but really glad to get them working, particularly the PM5. These 2 will probably end up at the charity shop. I don't really have a use for these, but this one definitely I will be using. We'll end the video there. Please consider subscribing, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one.